You have to bear with me, folks. Here, this is kind of awkward for me to start a video like this, or just me doing Impact Wrestling Review, the show from April 29th, 2021. This was the fallout what happened at Impact Rebellion 2021. And right now I'm just stirring up, mixing up my rice beans with some ketchup. Because I'm hungry. I'm starving. And yeah, so we're going to get to the show here. We're going to Matt Striker and D'Lo Brown being commentators at the Skyway Studios in Nashville, Tennessee. Excuse me, Nashville, Tennessee. Also, I'm gonna be busy trying to see if my brother gets close from work. He should be coming home late, so ironic I end up being here first before he does. You see, he comes here first, but it's whatever. But yeah, so let's get right into it, folks. So, didn't I have some with me? Oh yeah, I do. Mata in a can. Just saying. So, the show opened up with the rosters, but not the whole roster, but a couple of the rosters knocking on the door of Scott D'Amore because the whole thing with Kenny Omega becoming the Impact World Champion. Rich Swan's not there. Roughly so, by the way. Basically, they're all crowded around the room of of the executive vice president, which is Scott D'Amore, of his office. They all want an opportunity against Kenny Omega. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Where since these guys, you see, Ace Austin. I'm trying to remember if who else was there. There was no Josh Alexander, which that would not make any sense at all because Josh Alexander is the X Division champion. So why does he need to go to Scott D'Amore's office? Unless he's gonna cash in, what pertains to using option C. Because remember, option C is still intact. What pertains to the X Division championship title. Because of what Austin Aries did back in what year was that? 2011. Yes, 2011. I'm assuming it's 2011. I could be wrong. I could be my timeline could be wrong. Unless it was 2012. It had to be 2012 because 2011 there was no Aces and Ace yet. So I'm assuming it was 2012 because 2012 was around the time where Aces and Ace came around. But anyways, but you see that you see Ace Austin there. You see a couple other people too as well. Some of them that had no business being there either way, which I thought was like, oh god. If I remember, I think A. Edwards was there too, which is whatever. Was expecting him to be part of it anyways. Which I'm glad he wasn't. We'll get to that when we get to it. But I see Ace Austin there, and I see myself. At basically happened afterwards too. But we'll get to when we get to it. So, it kind of made no sense there why he was there. But again, we'll come back to that. But basically, Scott D'Amore said, everyone, head to the ring, surround the ring, whatever, and he'll make the announcement about about the whole situation with the whole thing of getting opportunities against Kenny Omega. So they all go away. They go to the at ringside, and what do you know? Don Callis, the Invisible Hand, he was in the office. Basically, and basically he's having a discussion with Scott D'Amore about Kenny Omega. And the thing about Kenny Omega, he's the AEW World Champion and the Impact World Champion. We're carrying both belts of the Impact and the TNA World Title belt. And Don Callis like basically saying that he's not here. And then Scott D'Amore looked at shocked like, wait, he's not here. They're like, no, he's he has to be here because he's the he made a commitment, because he signed a contract and all that. He we're just holding a press conference and all that, especially when it pertains to Tony Khan at one point, you know, whoever wins between Rich Swann or Kenny Omega, they had to be on both shows because they represent not only as the Impact World Champion, but also as the AEW World Champion. Either way, either way you look at it. So the fact that Kenny Omega couldn't even show up, and Don Callis thinks that that was okay that he can't show up, he couldn't show up. So basically, Scott D'Amore gives an ultimatum: he either shows up tonight, or he's gonna be stripped of those titles. So basically, Don Callis, has be the has his magic work, his magic hands or his invisible hands to make can make it come here. So and they found a way of that, and we'll get to it when we get to it. So Scott D'Amore goes, now we get to ringside with a couple of the rosters surrounding the ring, and Scott D'Amore makes an announcement that you know basically he says about Rich Swann, had an incredible performance. Not how I've seen it. Maybe half of his performance was impressive, but the rest of it, with him botching 3 moves, you know, no, it was not an incredible performance by Rich Swann. It was one of if anything, it was, rotates of me experiencing Rich Swann's performance in the ring as rotates him in wrestling, rotates him in WWE, even right here in Impact Wrestling, and and a couple of highlights I've seen pertains to other promotions he's been in before he got to WWE and Impact Wrestling. But this pertains to all that, this pertains to his match against King Omega. It was not one of his best. I'm not trying to say it was the worst, but it was not wasn't his best either because he's better than that, and I expect him to be better than that. But I digress. So, that being said, Scott D'Amore said, pertains to the whole thing with Rich Swann losing, there's no rematches, which is why they're gonna do a match where it pertains to a no contention match. But if Kimberly doesn't show up on this night, then it'll be it'll be for the title, which is why he came up with this idea where it's gonna be a 6-way match where they're gonna be having qualifying matches, and winner of those matches will be part of that 6-way match at Under Siege. Now I don't remember what under. Oh, I think it says here. No, unless it's not saying it there. Oh, wait. Hold on a second. Oh crap! It already happened. Yeah, but because as was recorded, folks. Again, I'm trying to keep up. I'm trying to catch up with everything that I'm doing right now. So May 15th. So as of this recording, it's May 16th. So you know, don't worry. I'll try to catch up. I'm gonna try to catch up if I as fast as I can. Because it's a lot. It's a lot on my mind going on. So especially with work, family, whatever have you. So, but yeah, that's basically what it was. So it ends up being Jake something versus the returning, the Ultimate Finesser, Chris Bay, and like hell yeah, Chris Bay is back. So this match happens between Jake something versus Chris Bay, and you still have the rest of the rosters there, like it's a lumberjack match. I say myself, wait, is that gonna be the entire match? That wasn't, because it was only this one match. And I say myself, wait a minute, if the rest of the matches didn't have all the rest of the guys around surrounding the ring, so why were they still there? It makes sense in a way, but at the same time, it also left a bad taste in my mouth. So this match was going good, and then the finish happened. For whatever reason, Rohit Rajul hooks the leg of Jake something, and that costs him the match because Chris Bay ends up getting basically roll him up and gets free on the ropes and gain the win. Bad finish. Bad finish. Now I expected Chris Bay to win either way, but this is how you make Chris Bay win. Him returning for God knows how long he's been gone, and it was a good match between him and Chris Bay. Chris Bay and Jake something. And the finish you gave was Rohit Raju tripping the leg of Chris of Jake something for Chris Bay to get the win. Not only he won with a roll up, but also Miz and Rose basically cheating. So basically, triple ram whammy there. How this makes Chris Bay look good. And on top of that, why was the roster still there in this match? They didn't end up being in the rest of the other matches, which is on this qualifying match. Made no sense. I can say at this point now, makes no sense. So Don Callis is on the phone with Kenny Omega, tells him he needs to be here, get on a private jet, as faster for him to get there before the end of the show. That's basically the goal here, for Kenny Omega to show up before the end of the show. Also, Sammy Callis shows up, confronts him, and says, basically calling Don Callis the Jackal, because back in the days of WWF, he was once called the Jackal. I remember because I watched it during that time. I relived. I grew up watching the Attitude Era, where I first saw Don Callis there as the Jackal. And then he got fired because he was getting over. That's what Bruce Pritchard once said. Because someone like Don Callis wasn't supposed to get over. And I see himself, then why are you put him in that position in the first place, you morons? I'm talking about back then. Obviously, Bruce Pritchard's always been a moron either way. He's even been a moron working for TNA Wrestling with the whole gut situation. Even when he came back, and then for that one time in 2017, even though it was only for a couple of months, and then announced it for him. So excuse me. Basically, Don Callis says that Kenny Omega won't know when or where, but he's coming for that title because Sam Collins is gonna be part of that match too, and we'll get to that when we get to it. Gia Miller interviews Taylor Wilde, who may have returned at Rebellion, which it was again shocking to me that they have her show up at Rebellion instead of having her show up on the show itself. But hey, either way, it's fine by me. But she basically has a message for the Knockouts champion Deonna Purrazzo in the process of her being Knockouts champion, and then also Tennille Dashwood and K4K interrupts and basically are trying to convince Taylor Wilde for Taylor Wilde to team up with Tennille Dashwood, but Taylor Wilde rejects the idea, and then Tennille Dashwood is like basically is delusional now that Taylor Wilde is just joking whatever, and then Taylor Wilde is walks away, and they're still convincing themselves, Kill for K and Tina Dashwood that they're a thing, they're gonna be a team, and like I don't know that that's gonna be the goal. They're gonna go with this later on, but what I see here is them buying time to do something, to stall until we get Taylor Wilde versus Deonna Purrazzo, which they have been doing something where it tends to stalling this whole thing until we get to these two having a match, Deonna Purrazzo and Taylor Wilde. That's gonna lead to Summerversary. So they announced some qualifying matches for the next episode of Impact Wrestling. We're a chance to for the 6-way the contendership match, or for a title. Again, we're a chance if K-Man can show up or not, which we'll get to it at Under Siege. And we'll continue with Chris Bay battling Great Rajul, Moose taking on James Storm, and Rhino versus Chris Sabin, and yeah. But as far as the rest of them, which is this review itself, it'll be Brian Myers and Matt Cardona going at each other. Basically a rematch from Rebellion. And the main event will be Sami Callihan and Eddie Edwards. Just kidding. I'm gonna go finish up here, okay?
Yeah. I'm gonna sleep.
Okay, no problem. Alright, so also we get to W. Morsley, the former Big Cass. He has a one-on-one match against Sam Beal and basically squashes him. And not much to say about the match other than it's basically a showcase W. Morsley, and yeah. So after, wait, I'm just trying to remember if he cut a promo after. Yeah. He actually cut a promo. Let's see, was it before or after he had a match? Oh yeah, it was before he got. I think it was before. Yeah, before he had the match, he cut a promo before he had his match, saying that basically telling the world that they may know him. They know his face. They may know his face, but they don't know have an idea of who he really is. And Morsley turns his attention to the professional wrestling industry and claims that it's full of bad people. The only difference between him and them is that he's not afraid to admit it. Good promo, good promo. And then obviously, like I said, I was a squash. So I don't remember he had any offense, Sam Beal, but it was basically all showcase for W. Morsley, like another the showcase that was back in Rebellion. So, and that was it. And it's been announced that W. Morsley was going to be going up against Willie Mack at Under Siege. So there you go. Kimberly with Susan versus Taylor Wilde. Taylor Wilde's first match back, and between her and Kimberly was the dominant of the match, and Taylor Wilde, she's rusty, obviously, so Kimberly basically had to basically showed up on her, and that. So Susan got involved though, which led to the whole thing backfiring, and in the end, it was Taylor Wilde getting the win with the submission call. Actually, I don't remember if she had a name for it, but it was basically a modified Indian deathlock that they kept trying to push him. This whole thing that she developed a new submission move, and I'm saying to myself, it didn't execute. It wasn't executed the right way because again, she just came back. She's a little rusty, so it's gonna take time for her to get back to where she used to be years ago. So, but not bad though. I thought she was decent. Hopefully everything. She was never the best wrestler, but I always thought she was decent, and we just gotta get that ring rust off her. Hey, I'll say one thing. It was a better in ring return than Brooke Tessmacher. I'm just saying, and that was back what on 2017. I can't remember what year it was, but I digress. Back to the match, Susan attacks, and then Team Dashwood comes out for the save. Basically, still having this delusional and that she's um you know that she and Tewa are a tag team, and Tewa looked confused and all that, and that was it. Now I don't know where it's going to lead to eventually, but we'll see how that turns out. Moose confronts Scott Demoy about this whole qualifying 6-way no contention match that he should not be in it because he should be entitled for a title shot. And basically he got in the face of Scott Demoy and all that, and then James Storm walks up to them, and basically James Storm had bought something for Moose, because he's gonna be opponents and everything. Because I guess that's supposed to be James Storm's thing, where he buys some type of food, whatever, and he gets it to his opponent, whatever. And then basically, he basically was there to see if there's any problem or whatever. And all of a sudden, Moose gets the food to Scott Demoy, and that was the end of that. So in a way, I thought it was entertaining in a way. So,
sweetie,
Then we get to the X Division Championship match between Josh Alexander, the new X Division champion, versus Ace Austin, the challenger, because rematch clause in a way, being claimed by Matt Fulton. And this is why I was a little confused there, and this is I thought Austin, Ace Austin meant to say should not have been in that you know you know from earlier when there was all trying to get on Don Callis' attention, or chance to who wants to face Kenny Omega, because Ace Austin was going to be against just Josh Alexander, and again, or chance the X Division title. The X Division title means you can you're obligated to use option C to get a title shot of the world title. So the fact that Ace Austin showed up in front of the office with the rest of the roster for a title shot against Kenny Omega for in the future made no sense, because you could be facing Ace because Ace Austin was going to be facing Josh Alexander, where he could have won the title back here, and then he could use option C to face Kenny Omega. But I digress. But as far as the match was, one between the two, it was pretty good. I think MF Fulton tried to get involved, but still, but wasn't avail, because anyway too. I didn't see Josh Alexander losing here, but I expected a good match, and it was. And sure enough, Josh Alexander won, still the X Division champion. And then Don Callis asks, oh yeah, this is, yeah, Don Callis asks on Johnny Swinger to have one of his stooge to pick up the Impact World Champion, because Ken Maker's is there. Well, not yet though, but he's almost there. And I guess Don Callis' stooge that he meant, I don't think he mentioned his name. He may have mentioned his name, but I can't remember. It was weeks ago, so my memory's a blur. But I'm assuming it was Johnny E. Bravo who was one of his stooge, So um so Don Callis got on the phone, can't make it, let him know, he's gonna pick you up, this stooge guy, he's in the idiot, whatever. So Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellery, um I can't remember if they came out to do a celebration. Oh yeah, I think they were being interviewed backstage. Being congratulated on being the new Knockouts tag team champions. Let me just double check here. Yes, they were being interviewed, and that's when Fire and Flavor, Kyogen and Tasha Steelz interrupt, and basically, they're gonna do more rematch between the two, because let's face it, these are only two women's tag team right now on the Knockouts division, which is unfortunate, because Nevaeh's not there anymore. We're to her and Havoc being a tag team. And on top of that, where the hell is Killer Kelly? Hell, bring in the Sea Stars too. They were part of that tournament. So where are they too? I know they're still around, because they're wrestling for AEW, wrestling for other promotions. So where the hell are they too? Uh, I just don't understand what they're really doing. I guess we're waiting for the Iconics to come in on around Summerversary, but that's gonna be a long way before we get to that point. And when we get there, how what are you gonna do when with the champions, to face new challengers, because you're not gonna have them keep wrestling against Fire and Flavor. It would let the Glow Driver versus the Generals. All right, and then we get to a video package of someone to debut on Impact Wrestling from New Japan Pro Wrestling, part of Bullet Club. He is the head banger, El Phantasmo. And when I first saw this video package and see that he's going to be showing up at Impact Wrestling, I was blown away. This guy is fantastic. If you've seen this guy wrestle, you see a lot of comparisons to him of being like an AJ Styles, Edge, X Pac, Kenny Omega, even more chance to walk in the ropes. Like I mean that's other that's others that walk the ropes too, more chance to Japanese wrestlers. But El Phantasmo, man, he is incredible. He's part of the junior heavyweights in Japan. He's um has won two tournaments of the Super J Cup from 2019 and from 2020. And yeah, man, he's just I just can't wait. Well, actually, I already did see it, but we'll get to eventually. When I do these catching ups of these reviews. But yeah, um, but yeah, either way, it's a great pickup. My issue is, um, what's gonna happen when they don't have nothing for him afterwards. I mean, when he comes in, obviously they gotta do something with him because how could you not do anything with on this guy, man? This guy is money. So he's one of the most controversial wrestlers, especially when a lot of things he's done in New Japan as well. So you'll find out how I feel about his debut when we get to the next review of that. Which I get a chance to do it. Now we get to the main event: Sami Callihan versus Eddie Edwards. Winner gets to be in the tournament. I mean, not the tournament. The 6-way number contendership match or for a title. Again, that's if King Mega doesn't show up here, So we get to the match. It was back and forth. So I was expecting Sami Callihan to win here, and I was saying to myself, okay, if Sami Callihan's going to win here, how he's going to win? Because you know how Impact Wrestling loves to defend and to protect Eddie Edwards for whatever freaking reason, especially with this gimmick of his. But then again, they always protect him either way, where it tends to these type of defeats. Now, if he was regular Eddie Edwards, I won't have a problem with that, sort of. But it's because of this look of Eddie Edwards, the beard, the mohawk braids, wearing a t-shirt all the time, and that shorts that he always wear. The, I hate it. But the match happens, that all of a sudden Kenny Omega shows up, which means the 6-way match will still be a no contendership match. To whoever wins that match gets to face Kenny Omega. I believe they said something about against all odds. I think that's what it was. In fact, I mean, go back at this first notes here. It doesn't say here. No, it doesn't say here. But I'm guessing that's where it's gonna lead to against all odds, which is gonna be on what, July? No, I'm sorry, not July, June. I meant to say June. My apologies. July is its anniversary. So because Kimega came out in the fear, he attacks Sami Callihan, and right there, Sami Callihan wins by DQ, which means once again they protected Eddie Edwards of losing. Unfreaking believable. Well, at least Edwards didn't win, right? Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy he didn't win, but at the same time, why he had to lose that this way? Why can't he lose clean? What's wrong with Eddie Edwards losing clean? Is it the worst thing that Edwards to lose clean in Impact Wrestling? But anyways, so like I said, he came out, and the Good Brothers. They came out too. The Good Brothers too as well. Being up on Callahan, and then being up on Eddie Edwards who trying to get involved. Then you got Finn Juice, the Impact World Tag Team Champions, coming in. Even they get their asses kicked. Basically, Kenny Omega, Don Callis, the Good Brothers all stand tall when on the show went off the air, and that's how the show ends. So yeah, Kenny Omega showed up, which means he's not stripping the title, and the match 6-way, it will still be a number contention match where the winner gets to face Kenny Omega at maybe against all odds, or maybe at Summerversary. But I think it's gonna be against all odds, unless Moose won that match. Then maybe it'll be built up to Summerversary. But other than that, I don't see Moose winning that match either way. But we'll get to that when we get to as well. Pertains to that match as well. Pertains to him qualifying. So, and that was it, folks. That was the show. And not much to say about the show other than I thought it was a good show. A very good terrible show. Despite the protecting loss of Eddie Edwards, which is always annoying. So Total Wrestling was 5 matches, and my overall rating for the show, I'm gonna go with a 7.5 out of 10. Could have been better, but it was still good. Still a good show. For me to say, it was a good show. Especially pertains to the Fallout and all that. So, not much to say about the show. So, that being said, thank you all for watching. For It's an Natural Born Thriller, saying peace on the streets. Take care.